Hello, welcome to the Heart's Frontier. I'm Kate Graham, and this is Wednesday, May 31st, 2023, doing our daily Oracle collective energy reading. I'm feeling specifically drawn today to the Mystical Shaman Oracle deck. And I'm also feeling drawn to talk about a conversation that might be upcoming. So I'm interested to see what that's about. I have no idea. Oh, but that's what I felt coming on this morning, which it does make sense. I know I've been leaning into the meaning of different days of the weeks, and I will be sharing those soon in a video as well, maybe a separate video for each one, different meanings of days of the weeks. So today is Wednesday, and that means it's Mercury Communication Day. And also, how we react to things, how we present, right? A conversation is the listening, and it's also the talking. So it may not be the communication is the talking, but actually, what are you going to be listening to? What are you receiving? I'm hearing that someone had a conversation in a dream, and it feels like recently within the last few days. I feel like someone had a conversation within a dream that is going to be very telling for what's going to come in the future. So if that resonates with you, if you had a dream conversation, then you can take that in. And always, if you're someone who hasn't had a dream conversation the last few days, it doesn't mean this whole reading's not for you. You'll just get what you need to. Earthquake. You'll just get what you guys need to out of this reading for yourselves. Okay. I keep changing up my setup just very slightly because I'll be moving my laptop around, and I kind of like this angle, but those curtains, the perfectionist in me that, has mostly quieted down. Perfectionist in me is like, all right. So we have wind, which also makes a lot of sense for communication. I'm going to read that card though, because the Mystical Shaman Oracle deck is um, quite beautifully worded. And so it's that one and the Empath Oracle deck. I tend to actually read them fully out. Yeah, okay. My ears are ringing, which doesn't happen often when I do readings, but it does make me think that you are actually being talked about. So you didn't hear this. So this is moving past the dream conversation thing. Take that. If it resonates with you, then that's validation that you need to pay attention to that dream and that it means something about this conversation. Um, okay, I'm getting a feeling like someone is talking about you, not around you. And it's not like behind your back. There's like it isn't in front of you, so I guess it's behind your back for that reason, but it's not behind your back in like it's almost like they're a bit scared, intimidated, maybe in not so certain terms. Sometimes people they mask their intimidation or fear with something else. So it does feel more like that, like they're kind of masking it. Like they wouldn't say, I'm intimidated or I'm scared of this person, but it would be like, I'm not really sure about this. Or it also might be that there's someone who is like a bit jealous in your sphere, in your circle. I'm kind of feeling like a bit of a divide. Like there's some people who the conversation that's being had behind your back is someone being like envious of some work that you've done, some progress you've made in your life. You're like achieving some goal that they kind of didn't see that you might do, and sort of they didn't believe in you. And it's not because they really think ill of you. It's actually because they think really highly of you. And we're almost like this person's too good to be true. So there's no way they're gonna reach that goal or do that thing. And now it's like they're kind of being proven wrong. So they feel a little bit like, I don't know, it's sort of a funny energy. And then there's another group of people listening to this collective where it's someone who is um, who is interested in you. So let me pull a Whispers of Love card for those people. Okay. So for the first group, I know I'm darting all around here. For the first group of people who someone is talking behind your back because they didn't think that you could actually do it, and here you are doing it, and they just feel a little bit like they feel some kind of way about it. That's why they wouldn't say that they're scared of you. They wouldn't say they're intimidated by you, but it's kind of that envy energy. And it says, do something for someone. Um, but this feels like put your attention towards other people, put your attention towards those who understand the magnificence that you are and support you in this current iteration of you. You know, not everybody carries through every chapter with us, and it's so beautiful the ones who do. And at the same time, if there's people coming up in this new chapter for you who really seem like good connections, lean into it. You know, they could be friends for life, they could be friends for this chapter. It could be people who you really need to learn from. This says give your attention to another. That's what really stands out to me about this card. Give your attention to another. And it's almost like it's funny, there's this little squirrel who's sitting on top of the shoulder here, a little squirrel, and then she's tending to the bunny and the deer. And so like the squirrel, it's like maybe not actually like saying anything. So if this person is talking, let it be actually behind you. Let it be, off your shoulder, actually. Okay. So that's for the person who is maybe being talked about in an envious way from someone, I think, who you thought might support you. And that's kind of the energy it feels like. And then there's this other energy of people where it's a love connection, a romance connection, and it could have been a while since you've seen each other, or like it's a new connection, but it feels like it could have been a while since you've seen each other if it's someone that you recognize from your past. And it feels like this person is talking about you behind your back. Again, it's not a bad behind your back. I think it's a funny way to keep phrasing it. You're not around, and this person is discussing you. And I see them sort of darting around, like they'll sort of have like a few points in the yes, this is great, and this is what I want, and then they'll have a few points in the we'll see, or oh, but I'm not going to do anything about it, or like just a kind of brushing you off type thing. And so it's an interesting energy today. It's like you will not be brushed off, and now other people are needing to react to that, right? So you've come into a different type of energy where you're taking yourself not more seriously, but more fully. You're seeing yourself more fully. And so because of that, other people then are needing to react to this shift in energy that's been coming in. This shift in energy where you're not going to actually take it personal. You're going to say, okay, that's information. I'm moving on. Or you're going to say, okay, take me or leave me, but it's better to take me, like it's like a really funny, it's some of the phrases that are coming through today, I feel like are totally from the people who are in the collective because they're not things I would normally say. So it's entertaining me. Okay. So for the person who is in this romantic connection, or potentially, like, you might not even know, this is the thing, you might not even know this person, who this person is, but there is someone who is talking about you. And in a way, they are intimidated, but also not going to use those words. That's the theme I keep feeling of today. It's like they feel kind of like frustrated or envious or intimidated, or sort of afraid of the bigness of what could be in the next conversation or next connection with you. But then they are not saying it exactly that way, but kind of behaving and communicating in a way that almost, it's like you'd have to read between the lines or listen to the subtext, I suppose, if you were this person who's in this conversation. You're not, though, it's happening behind your back. Okay, we have focus on love. This is for that romantic connection. Focus on love. And it says, look for the good in everyone. So I see you as like the green, nymph being here, and then your person as this blue dragon. And they're like, I'm really scary. I breathe fire. And they're kind of running out of defenses. That's what I feel, is like they're sort of running out of defenses. And you're just sitting there quietly, like, okay. And so look for the good in everyone, even if this person is behaving in a way that is like kind of confusing. If you saw it as, they're a bit afraid, they're a bit intimidated, um, but not saying it, then maybe their behaviors would make a bit more sense. And so I think that's what I'm asking you to do. And then we also have turn on your heart light. This is so beautiful. It's time for me to dye my hair more red again because I dye it with henna. I haven't talked about that process much, but I dye it with henna. And so you do it every, time you want to boost. And I look at this card and I'm like, oh my gosh, I want my hair to be that fiery. It's not going to be that fiery, but and it says, turn on your heart light, reflect on a time when you experienced love. And so I think what can be challenging is knowing that you are seeking out a vibrational match, which is slightly different. It's slightly askew to what you currently have. And so vibrational match means like the physical vibrations around you, also your own energetic and emotional vibration that you send out into the world. What we're attempting to do, I was just asked this question on a Facebook group about like publicity and sharing your message and being out, being visible. And one of the things was, what are you going to get from doing this work that you don't already have now, and then give it to yourself. And so what the person means is it's a really smart exercise, especially for people who are, already tuned in and aware that they're creating their reality here, is that I would then think about what is something I feel separate from, and how can I make that my energetic vibration currently so that I have this feeling now. So it's like, oh, I want to feel this way. Okay, well, I'm going to feel this way now. So then that actually shortens the gap between you and what it is you want. What it is you want is a feeling or is a thing, some sort of completion. You give that to yourself, and then it shortens the gap between it arriving in physical form. So here we have Sekhmet, be strong. Be strong in the face of seeming uncertainty in love, but also in friendships. Uncertainty is like a bit of a killer of connection, right? Because we want this feeling that we may have received, may not have, but we may have received as unconditional love. And this is what we crave from friendships, from connections, from family, and it can be darn near impossible because we are human and flawed, and sometimes those conditions and our conditioning shows up. But be strong says you are stronger than you think you are, and your strength assures a happy outcome. So be strong in the face of feeling the wound or feeling the abandonment or feeling the lack of clarity or certainty, be strong in the face of those things, understanding that the absolute best, absolute rightest, absolute most loving things come to you as long as you stay aligned in your absolute best, most loving and full self. I was on a call yesterday, and it was suggested to me that this phase, this evolution of mine is Kate Unleashed, and I think it really resonated with me because it's a feeling that I've been craving for a long time, to be unleashed and creatively, passionately unleashed, and be strong then in the face of conditioning that tells you to back up or go another way, or advice that is just not the advice that you actually feel drawn to, and also be strong in the face of distance and of disconnection, in trusting that closeness and connection are on the other side of those pendulum swings. We also have Bast, which is independent. And there's a big message of gold. I was seeing gold all this morning, like gold everywhere. Gold is like conductive, it is connective as well. It is luxury, it is like abundance in higher forms, and it is also precious. And that's the energy that I want to give to you. Can you be independent in valuing your preciousness? Like, can you be fully in trust of that? It says your independence is a foundation. for your strength and success. So it really is a be strong message, and to actually believe in your success in whatever endeavors you do. If you want to be successful at learning how to make sourdough bread, that's your success, right? I'm not telling you, I'm not the type of person who will say, you need to earn this much and blah, blah, blah. I might have big goals and big dreams for myself, but they're not, we all have different missions on this planet and different amounts that we feel comfortable holding and different life stories that we feel comfortable driving forward. I'm someone who loves to do many things in a day, and so I will do many things in my life. If you are someone who is craving this deeper simplicity, then be strong in the face of stay busy, do this, do that, right? So whatever it is that is telling you, my conditioning growing up would say, you are limited. There's only so much that you can. There's only so much that you can do. Like, be realistic in a sense. And I'm being asked to become less and less realistic and more trusting. And so, our life stories, they shape how we then move into healing as well. Those subconscious beliefs that once held us back are actually shifting into new ones. And if you are wanting to do some epic deep belief transformation work, this is a really exciting thing that I'm able to now talk about because Empath Energetics is in. And so the deep belief, the rapid hypnotherapy work, this is really big. It's really big. It's really juicy. It's rapid hypnotherapy. It's transformation sessions with me, listening to a recording of my voice for 21 days after we've had a session together. And then I'll check in with you at the end of the 21 days and see how you're doing, and see what shift that has been created. Because there is always a shift, even subtly, that comes in when you do subconscious work, because subconscious work is the basis to which we have our reactions, our thoughts, and things. You'd be like, I don't even know why I'm feeling this way. Something is in your subconscious that's drawn that conclusion, or drawn that line inward. And I'll talk more about that in the future, but I just wanted to drop that in because I keep talking about these deep beliefs, and how, our collective right now is shifting into this big change. I do feel this big change for a lot of us around the corner. And I'm not someone who always says that, but I do feel like a really big change. And because we're embracing this big change, we're needing also to do that final clearing out. Like this week, that energy, I was feeling kind of like letting go, of these last layers of healing before this next. And then there'll be new layers of healing in our next evolution. So we have also Damara, which is guiding children. And this is something actually feeling connected to the romance situation for a few people. That this guiding children, it may be that children are involved in some way, or that the idea of children is causing some like disruption or uncertainty in this person towards you. And for another select few in this group, it says you are good at helping, counseling, and healing children. Use your skills to help children now. And I see this as being a very deep need. And if you feel the call towards guiding children, to really be saying yes to that right now, there's like a need for wholesome, loving, role models and figures, because there are so many role models and figures in general in on the internet and in the world in general. um, and not as many these days have that wholesome, simplistic, slow down, creative. There are definitely these mentors and these people. There's a lot of beautiful parenting practices coming out to match this need, this like wholeheartedness. But there is a lot of societal conditioning with a lot of parents that is dropping down into the children of the like go go go, busy busy, drained out, or you can't have the life that you wish to have. It just feels like, inspiring children. Inspiring feels like the word. And that counseling, helping, the like holding in kindness and holding in the heart. If there's any children around you, or if you have some opportunity to work with children, um, definitely a really good time to do that. Okay, let me read this wind card here. Mm-mm-mm. Mhm. So the wind blows from each of the four directions, and there are different qualities bestowed by each. So right now, just take a moment and feel a direction. And it might not be the actual outdoor direction. It might just be the direction of your body, like north, and then south is at the back, east and west. Or it might be the directions of the actual world around you. But try to feel which direction the wind is more coming from for you in your life before I read this out. And then you're going to be able to pick up on what the message is for you. Okay. So for me, I'm feeling very strongly it's west. Okay. South, carrying a new sense of trust, helping you gently begin to discard habits and parts of you that are no longer needed. So you want that gentle approach to totally getting rid of habits. Come and see me for that deep belief transformation hypnotherapy work. So epic. All right, West, calling you to more introspection, to a willingness to make final decisions, to let go of attachment and ego desires. Oh my gosh, the final decision thing is like really on point. I've had a really difficult time making that like I'm like a fire person, right? So I start stuff and I'm generative, so I can continue like at least a pretty good kind of motion as long as I'm staying creatively inspired. You know, I can keep pushing the needle forward, but like that last 5%, oh my God, that's the perfectionisty thing. So I should actually do some deep belief work for myself. I'd like to do some. I'll have to find another rapid hypnotherapist to work with me on this, or make my own track, I guess, for myself. To let go of attachment and ego desires. And then north, moving to bring you wisdom and strength. So it may be the strength, it may be the people who are feeling north is more like some friend or some person you thought was a friend is like talking about you. That one, the envy one. And east, carrying clarity of vision and purpose. So if you're needing to get really clear on your vision, it might be a really good day also to work on like a vision board or visioning, journeying, dreaming, just taking a walk and thinking about what it is you want. Like, what is this new life? What is this new life chapter? What is this change? And this medicine is also about like recognizing the value of chaos, because windstorms they bring this chaotic kind of energy, but it's a helpful thing for the earth. It like spreads seeds around and things like that. And so it's actually really helpful. And it says, perhaps communication has broken down between you and another, or your many to do lists are overwhelming you. The medicine is to simplify, slow down, course correct if you need to, and wait out the storm to clean things up. So it's like stuff has really gotten stirred up. You've had ideas and visions and connections and impressions, and you're getting all these things, all these maybe goals and whatever kind of all stirring up. And then you need to also let the wind do its thing, let things settle. And in that settling, you're going to see a lot of it remains, not all of it will, right? Anytime I do a big kind of brainstormy session, I do my best to do physical practices, look at integration, slow myself down right after. That's what I was doing recently because I had this big influx of, oh my gosh, I actually am seeing so much that is next for me. Okay, now whew, get inward, slow down. You see, and my thing is telling me to get even more introspective and to actually finish those last 5% of these things that need to be done, right? To make those final decisions. I was making an itinerary for a trip and I was like not making any actual final decisions. It felt very like floaty. And so, that feeling of just being certain, being clear, saying, this is it. That's what's coming in. So enjoy the rest of your day, everyone. This was a really fun reading today. I would be curious to know whether it's resonating and how it's resonating for you, because there was a few different situations popping up. And I'll be back either tomorrow night or Friday night to do some sort of open oracle reading, maybe love romance, maybe some other thing, maybe some healing thing. I like doing those. And if you do like listening to this channel, you like supporting it, feel free to click the PayPal donation link and send anything if you do feel called, or save your pennies or pence and then do a hypnotherapy session with me. Do one of those deep belief transformation sessions. I would so much rather people give money that actually benefits you yourself. It's what I get more joy out of. But, when those donations come in, it also helps support this work that I'm doing and continuing to do free work every morning. So I need to hop into work. I'm really excited to be doing this consistently and speaking to you all. So thank you for being here. Thank you for connecting and thank you for being yourself. Okay, take care, everyone.